right, it is now time for it is now time for raising funds for world domination, day number 281. So for today's update, there are once again no updates on the pending appeal to the renovation. Oh yeah, I also sold another sponsored block type last night. So I think it's only one left in the store, and I guess after that I'll have to add more because there's none left to buy. I continued today working on the next long form video. So let's see, the last video I published was December 24. So I continued working on it. I guess it's been 5 weeks now. I'm getting close. There's I think about I did some recording yesterday, but some of the video didn't work out well, so I'll have to redo that, I think. And then I think it's about maybe 50 lines or so of the script, which will take about a couple hours recording time. And then I have to edit it and process it. And I think there's basically no more graphics to do. So it is, I think I've been saying a week for a while. So it's realistic that within a week I might be at the finish line. All right, let's continue with work on the terminal block mining simulation game. So let's test to make sure it works. Orthoplex 64, how's it going? Yoshi Kaka Kira is here again. Long time no see. I guess you were here briefly last night. So tonight I'll be continuing with simplifying and disentangling the differences between the code for the multiplayer and single player client. So single player works. Alright, no exceptions on the server. And let's make sure the multiplayer client still works. Alright, it works. So okay, this has been simplified a lot, enough that I almost might be able to get rid of it. So can I get rid of this? Maybe I can. All right, that one's already pretty simple. So I guess what I might be able to do, oh, maybe that's not necessary. I need a way to get rid of this reference. David Oswald says another day, another opportunity to program in Java. Yep, every day is an opportunity to program in Java. Now will that work? Right, single player works. And multiplayer works. Eduardo Longoria says hello. How's it going? Oh, I've got so many classes, I forgot what they're called. Oh, communication processor, that's what I called it. What do you envision for world domination? That's a good question. I have a video. Have you seen the video that I've linked in the description? I have my my detailed world domination plans there. Bro is definitely a Java developer with that name. Name Eduardo. Edmund 8688 says hi, Robert. How's it going? $86.88. That makes me think of the, what was it? The Intel. No, it was the 8086. That was so famous. I've not. Yeah, I can. You can. The broad strokes details are all in the video, but I can answer follow-up questions. Okay, WebSockets, communication processor. Is SQL injection only suitable for attacking vulnerable website? Well, to successfully mount a SQL injection, that is definitely one target. Anywhere where there's SQL queries that are run. So if you can, it could be a website, or it could be, I guess there's maybe more like abstract, long-running things where you. I think I remember someone incorporating a company name that was a SQL injection attack, and of course company names are things that there's various scraping services and stuff out there. So presumably it was done to, break people's scraping tools. So theoretically, you could incorporate a company, and that could attack anything that tries to aggregate data about your business. Have you thought about including Easter eggs? I could. I think I need more content, though, first. Little Bobby tables, yeah. But it was, it also had like the, I can't remember what it was. I think I saw that in Hacker News. You could probably just Google it, about incorporating a company as a SQL injection. And then I think it was it was like they did something about it and dissolved it because it was I don't know. The government just didn't want to deal with it. They're like, nope, you can't do that. Robert, you need to make a tutorial on how to make RAM. We can use some guide. I'd like to, but it's so much work to make a video. It takes many hours. Maybe one Easter egg can be an acorn. One of the Easter eggs could be an acorn. How would that work? What would be the significance of that? Okay, single player is working. Right, multiplayer works. In honor of those Tenadel people. Yeah, I mean it's that was a complicated issue because like I would say like 90% of the people 90% of the people at like a low level, like they're just regular, like very poor people, and like there were specific things that lots of people did that were useful, but as an organization, like from the top down, there's some I don't know. There's some weird stuff going on there, I think. You could just do live riff and then edit it down to an LF. About the RAM. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Although I probably, once I get the next video out, I'm going to think more about lower effort content. I don't want to, the thing is, if I start something else, I will start working on that more, and I won't be able to finish what I've already started. But your comment that video is a lot of work. Yeah, but to do things that are good is always a lot of work. Okay, let's get rid of those interface classes. Your method is excellent, but it's high production up front. So a live riff on topic would you let you know it's something people want to hear. Yeah, I guess I should optimize more for what people want to see, but then also I have like specific topics that I want to focus on, and it's hard. The feedback cycle is difficult because like my most popular video, if I just went by like what gets the most views in 24 hours, I would never have produced the how to make a CPU video because it took years for that to actually trend. I see this one guy who does that in the regular, riffs on a topic for 20 minutes, then releases it on the next day with titles and so on. Yeah, but don't you want to see higher effort content? Giordani says, hello there. I've been busy with my math homework. Nice. Adam Lammers says, good evening. How's it going? How have you been? I've been good. I made more incremental progress today. Thank you for that information. Oh, was that about the, I forgot what we were talking about, the world domination video? Yeah, hopefully you're on board with the plan. Okay, single player client is working. Doesn't preclude more heavier editing in short form. If we produce short form or long form video. And if half of these live shows, you'd be able to test the waters. The editing and uploading and titling and stuff. That is where most of the work is. Like to just go live and say a bunch of stuff. Like if I had teams of people that work for me, then I could do all this stuff. How's life in Canada these days? It's winter up here, so it's chilly. We're in, I guess usually we're basically in the most depressing part of winter right now. So between January and about mid-February, that's when the historic lows of temperatures are. So we've got I've got a couple weeks until the average temperature starts going up, and then we're slowly, day by day, getting toward summer. So that's a time to look forward to. I guess economically, Canada's not doing so well. We've got a whole bunch of economic problems and social problems and high immigration. Okay, that's working good. Okay, client interface does nothing now, so I can delete it. I've done loads of video editing, so I feel your pain. I see how your work is. Not speaking from experience. I'm not speaking from no experience. Yeah, I could do a better job on it. Like there are just so many incremental things that I could do to like step back and improve on my production quality and stuff, and like just get more stuff out. But to take time off to focus on that, now I have a video. If I focus, I can probably get it out maybe in less than a week. But if I get sidetracked, I'm like, now I'm going to make a bunch of clips and stuff. What would be really impactful is if I could start using some AI tools or something to maybe just like scrape and like auto edit some content out or something. That might be a way to do it. And then everyone comes in like, hey, use AI. But I have to like look up some of these tools and research them, and I've tried before and the stupid plugins don't work. There's too many opportunities. And I guess the other big problem is anything that I can do like, well, I need to make more money. So people are like, you should sell merch. So I set up a merch store, and I spent all this time trying to get approved by Google Merchant Center, so it'll actually list the products. And I waste like a week of time on that and get rejected 3 times. So, that's and then if I do a bunch of like short form content, now I'll make like $1 a year off of that shorts video. So it's there's lots of opportunity, but most of the opportunity, it's like an investment in something. It's just hard to balance everything and actually achieve some kind of growth. Very cold here. Negative F in Detroit. And it's probably worse. Yeah, it depends. I guess we're not even too far away from Detroit here. Detroit is basically Canada. It's north of some parts of Canada. Yeah. Midsummer here in Tassie, which just had 37-degree Celsius day. Nice. 42 degrees. Canada sounds like Australia. Everything is struggling. Economics, education, social services, dealing with USA. Yeah, we got it's almost like there's some I don't know, some group of people causing all these problems in every country, all these related countries at the same time. Tasmania seems like such a cool place. Yeah, I bet it would be a cool place. If there was one place I could Australia does seem like a really like the kind of vast emptiness of Australia. It actually seems like one of the last places where there's not really where like if you want to just buy hundreds of acres of land somewhere, it seems like one of the last places where you can actually go and do that in the like Western world. Other maybe like someplace in Africa, but Africa doesn't have the same kind of legal structures. Hello, imagine 52 degrees Celsius. That's very hot. Canada is in Albertan legacy? I guess so. Again, do you need help with setting up micronation? You need a place which is not claimed by anyone. I'll probably just take advantage of the fact that nobody really uses Axel Heiberg for anything, so we'll just go up there. Nobody will mind. There's nothing going on up there. You could easily do that in Arizona or Montana. Unincorporated areas in the U.S. have no building codes either. Yeah, it would be that'd be a fun adventure, but it would be like a long-term thing with lots of investment required. All the cheap land's gone. There's still a lot of space there, though. Adam Lamers is a well-respected individual. Plenty of sub-1,000-acre properties in the U.S. Yeah, I think the location, though, is important. I know in Ontario, in northern Ontario, there's tons of empty space, and there's like unincorporated municipalities. There's like these giant unincorporated municipalities, and I went up there, or I saw a YouTube video that was recommended me of someone who went up there, and they deliberately bought a place, like just a plot of land in the middle of nowhere, so they could, be away from municipal this and that stuff. And but since it is some kind of like it's in some, I don't know, it's like there is some person that's like the head of the unincorporated district who has some say over what you can build there. And this person, I guess, is kind of like a tyrant. So there's certain, like, some of these unincorporated vast regions where there is still some, like, overzealous person who just wants to boss people around. So I guess you have to do a lot of research to make sure you get something in the right place. What if medical emergency? Yeah. But then again, our healthcare is getting really bad up here. You might have noticed in my videos, I have this bump growing on my face, and I went to a clinic. I had to go to a clinic in a while, so I thought, maybe the medical system is improving, and it's not as bad as they say. So I looked it up, and I found a clinic that they can take out these, I don't know, whatever I think it's like an ingrown pimple or something like that, and they advertised on their website that they can get rid of those. They can do just like minor day surgery, and they said that they can do it, and they specialize in it. And then later I realized that they all have a walk-in clinic. So I thought, oh, that's great. Maybe I could just go to this place. It's a walk-in clinic, and they said on their site, like, we can see you within 2-minute wait times. So I thought, oh, that'd be great if I could just like get this done today or something. So I went there, and they asked for like tons and tons of info on me and like scan all my details. And so then I met with, I did get it in 2 minutes, but then I just sat in a room waiting for a doctor for like, not too long. And then he saw me, and he said, oh yeah, so I guess we'll refer you to someone, and we'll let you know. And they're like, it'll take months possibly to get the referral. And he said, like, it's not a fast process at all. And then I said, like, is there a way to like speed this up or something? He's like, oh, well, I guess I could give you a piece of paper, and you could find someone else on your own who does this. And he wrote on the thing that he said it was a mole, which is obviously not a mole. It's like it's a pimple or something. And then actually a few days ago, I got the notification for when I can actually see a dermatologist about it, and it's going to take 10 months just to see a dermatologist and get him to look at it. And of course, there's tons of stories. People like, some person went to their emergency room with their kid, and the kid they wait like 12 hours, and the kid dies. People die in the emergency room frequently here. It's a rural land not zoned for house or living. Cheap land, but if it has the potential or is zoned, you pay $250K. Block in the suburbs for the same price. Yeah, it's I think there's definitely an opportunity in pursuing that, but it's you got to do your research and know what you're going to do. And U.S. medical emergency means you're effed either way. Dying isn't the worst option. Yeah, like medical care didn't seem it wasn't always this horrible. You never said how you handle the large code and remember everything, like which line is what, which function does what. I guess looking at it every day helps me out with that. I'm forced to remember it. Two minutes was a lie. It was maybe 2 minutes until they like called my name, but it's 2 minutes to get into a room and then wait some more. And I saw that they set me up for a referral, and the person that they're referring me to in 10 months from now, they have like a lot of bad reviews. So I think I may try to find a different dermatologist. Raising funds for Greenland annexation. That's a good topic, but I gotta fight one battle at a time. Same in Tessie, we got that in common. Then if you move over, hospital ramping times. In 10 months, the so-called mole could cover your entire face. Yeah. Raising funds for supporting Plankton's steal of Krabby Patty secret sauce. That sounds like scope creep there. Robert Elder is the most precise, rigorous, cold-headed person I've ever seen in my entirety of existence. And on top of that, he has the patience of saints. Oh, thank you for the kind words. Anyway, everyone, live long, and try to prosper. And I'll have a wonderful morning, day, night. Have a good night. So this will delete the client interface class. So now I can also delete, I think, the server interface class. Okay, it's starting to look less insane. Server changes work. Now let's test the multiplayer client. All right, looks good. All right, the multiplayer client, that looks pretty simple to generalize. The single player client has more going on. Maybe I can move this in the connect method. guess the challenge is it doesn't know. I need to be able to pass a reference to the opposite class, the client or server, when opening a connection. What you use to do your math homework in college, university? I guess depends. Depends what the math was. A lot of the calculus stuff, like for checking, for verifying answers and stuff, making sure my logic and reasoning was right. Wolfram alpha was a thing that was a really big thing that a lot of students used. And I remember back in the day that was like a really impressive thing. They were that Stephen Wolfram. I mean, it was a very good and useful tool at the time. But now it's like, compared to the AI stuff we have, it's kind of just peanuts. But back in the day, it was. It actually, there was something I was doing. I was trying to do some math on this big equation, and so I went to Wolfram Alpha and I typed in something that I thought was pretty basic. I was just using like words as variables. I kind of would have figured that they would have upgraded it by now, but the first query I tried, it couldn't. It just said like it didn't understand. So I'm like, oh, this is garbage. I think if I had probably used like just a single letter for the variable, it would have worked, but I used like a word and it was not able to cope with it. I tried using it because it does actual calculations. But you have to be careful now because Google's using large language model AI stuff. So when I tried, like in the past, I would always just Google math equations, like, want to do 9,028 minus 600 and something. I'll just type it into Google, and then Google will be like, oh, this is a calculation, so I guess I'll just do the calculation for you. But it was recently with the LLMs, it's using token-based predictions. And I didn't notice at first until I thought, like, wait a minute, this calculation seems wrong. And then I redid the calculation, and it gave me a different answer because it's a large language model. It's like a probabilistic output. I was thinking to use LaTeX. That's for like what do you call it? The typesetting or the like actually making the document look good. I did have some friends who I think they said they did their homework in LaTeX, and it has quite a learning curve, LaTeX. And people always tell me I mispronounce it. I call it latex, but I guess it's latex. So I think what I'll need to do for this, I can probably move this piece of code into I guess probably into here. I will share latex with the X. Yeah, I think. I don't know. You can ask around. I just know what people. I always. Yeah, I think I would always go latex. And then people would be pedantic on me and tell me that I'm pronouncing it wrong. They're probably just wrong. I don't think so. There's enough people who. I think I might even got a YouTube comment where people complained. So I guess there's kind of a need for two different base classes of this, but maybe I will keep it just in one class. I was about to complain right here until you mentioned people complaining. Google says they are correct. Correct. Is it latex? That's the correct pronunciation, if I remember correctly. That's such a strange. Why would they call it spell it latex if it's latex? It's just like these like arrogant, pedantic, smart people who spend all day writing latex documents decide to like invent a pronunciation that's different from the way that you would expect, just so they can walk around correcting you, being like, excuse me, you're not pronouncing it correctly. That's the whole reason they did it that way. So I guess I can... have a different constructor or something for the one with the local connection. I will call it LaTeX. There was no reason to call it LaTeX. Yeah, started a revolution. All right, I think I'll probably leave it there for tonight. There's one more simplification that's top of mind, which was in the server. Server thread launcher. These here methods I could basically fold that stuff into the same class. All right, we'll leave it there for tonight, and we'll pick things up again tomorrow night for day 282. All right, have a good night, guys.